Okay, busy bees, because it is almost Shabbat, Morah is going to read to you one of our favorite books called Way Too Much Challah. Okay, Way Too Much Challah. Hi there, I'm Mindy. Guess why I'm excited? I'm baking challah for the first time I've tried it. How do I start? What to mix? How to measure? I called up my Bobby, who answered with pleasure. In a bowl of warm water, add lots of fresh yeast. Add sugar and salt, half the flour at least. Put in oil and eggs, more flour than need. If you knead for 10 minutes, you'll surely succeed. Just follow each step and you won't go wrong. Just follow directions and it doesn't take long. Thanks, Bobby, I smiled. I said, that sounds really good. I hope that my challah comes out as it should. So I did what she said. And wouldn't you know, in no time at all, I had a bowl full of dough. Baking challah was fun. Anybody could do it. I thought it was hard, but there's nothing much to it. Just then, the phone rang. So what could I do? My hands full of dough were as sticky as glue. I washed them so quickly to get off that stuff. I scrubbed and I rubbed, but not fast enough. So back to the dough. It was still kind of lumpy. The dough hadn't changed. It was sticky and bumpy. I looked in the bowl and I started to doubt. Had I done this correctly or left the yeast out? Without yeast, the challah dough simply won't grow. So I added some yeast right into the dough. I wonder what's going to happen. Right then, I heard ringing. The doorbell was chiming. But just look at my fingers. What terrible timing. I knew it must be the delivery man. When I got there, he'd already left in his van. So back to the dough. But then I forgot. Did I add all the yeast? Perhaps I had not. Well, that's easy to fix. We have plenty of yeast. I guess it can't hurt if the yeast is increased. Then I kneaded the dough just like Bobby had said, till my shoulders were sore, my face was all red. It was time for a break. I stared down at the dough and tried to tell if it had started to grow. I watched as it lay in the bowl like a blob. Maybe this yeast wasn't doing its job. So I added some more of the yeast just in case, hoping that this would help speed up the pace. Would that dough ever rise? Well, I'd sure done my best. Now I had to lie down for a 10-minute rest. And while I was resting, and without my knowing, the challah dough in that bowl just started growing. Uh-oh. The bowl I had picked for its very large size overflowed with fresh dough that continued to rise. I took out a much bigger bowl for the dough so it would have more than enough room to grow. You think that's enough room? Think that bowl is big enough? I don't know. Oh no! I cried out. It's reaching the top. I could see that the dough wasn't ready to stop. I emptied the huge bowl right into the sink. That's got to be just the right size, don't you think? What do you think, friends? Think that's the right size? But that dough kept on rising each second, each minute. I must have put way too much extra yeast in it. The sink was too small. I had no time to lose. The toy box was bigger, so that's what I'd use. I cleaned out the toys from the box in a wink and plopped in the dough that I dragged from the sink. The toy box was big. It had plenty of space. At last, I had thought of the most perfect place. But a few moments later, I saw I was wrong. The dough was still growing. I didn't have long. It shook. I sat down on a three-legged stool. And that's when I spotted my old kiddie pool. I tugged at the dough and got it all in, but it rose even higher right up to my chin. Uh-oh, that dough is rising so fast. Dough covered the couch. It rose up the wall. I had to get help, so I made a quick call. "Bobby, please come," I said into the phone. "I don't think I can handle this dough on my own." Whoa, look at that. There's dough all over the place. Bobby came in 3 minutes. She looked all around. Dough had oozed out the door to the porch to the ground. "Did you follow directions?" "Oh, Bobby, I tried, but I put too much yeast in my challah," I cried. Uh-oh. With her apron in place and a large metal tray, Bobby walked towards the house and told me to stay. How could she fix this? What would she do? I wanted to go in the house with her too. But I followed directions and stayed in the yard. I wondered and waited, and boy, was that hard. As the seconds ticked by, all the dough cleared away, and suddenly Bobby appeared with a tray. She held out 2 challahs, both perfectly braided. She looked at me calmly. Her smile never faded. "Baking challah," she said, "doesn't have to take long. Just follow directions and you won't go wrong." I stretched out my hands. What a lovely surprise. Then all of a sudden, I opened my eyes. The dough in my bowl had grown over the top. That's as far as it got, just that far, and it stopped. My 10-minute nap had stretched on for an hour. I'd slept in my apron, all covered with flour. It all felt so real. At least that's how it seemed. But the runaway dough was just something I dreamed. I stood up and took challah out of my dough. A small piece to burn for the mitzvah, you all know. Bobby's coming for Shabbos and proudly displayed will be my special challahs, completely homemade. And I would love to see pictures, friends, of your Shabbat table with your challah that you made. Okay, make sure to send them to me. I love you. Shabbat Shalom.